Good morning, Les. How are you? Happy Thursday.
Thank you. I'm great and grateful. Thank you.
You always make my morning when you say that. You're always in the best mood.
Yes, I think every day is the best day of your life. If you don't believe it, try missing one.
That is a wonderful point that I have not thought through like that before.
Yeah, I got that from a friend of mine, Orrin Hudson. We call him Checkmate. And he teach young people how to become strategic thinkers by teaching them how to play chess. And you call him, you say, how you doing? He'll say, the best day of my life. I said, I'm going to take that from you.
Right. Just try missing one.
Yeah.
We already have so many people jumping on here. Good morning. Good morning. There's got some good afternoon.
Good morning, Maya. Yeah.
Let us know where you're watching. Yesterday, I saw the Netherlands. And we were talking about Canada right before we got on here, and we had a lot of people from Canada, Canadians. So lots of people, let us know where you're watching from. We're pretty excited. Everybody's saying good morning. They're excited to have today too.
Hello, Sarah.
So what are you going to talk to us about today?
About ignore the opinions of others and what people think about you and your potential for living your dream. I have a very special story to share with them that I think will click, because most people are influenced by people that they consider authority figures, or people that are family members, or people that they have a lot of respect for, and they value their opinion above their own opinion. And my son John Leslie reminded me of an experience that I had when I was venturing into this area of speaking, and what happened to me and how I dealt with it. So I'm ready to go.
Okay, I'm excited. I need to hear this one more than anything. So, all right, sir, go ahead.
Hello, how are you? This is Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. I want to ask you a question, and I already know the answer. Have you ever thought about something you wanted to do, and someone that you respected, or someone that you felt you might get some encouragement from them, or maybe just out of the blue, somebody might just say, even though they don't know you, you probably can do that? Well, here's what we found is that a lot of people don't do the things they want to do because they become discouraged by the feedback that they get from others. I think that's why the book of life says that death and life is in the tongue, because most people speak death rather than life. And so I want to share with you an experience that I had. I had a relationship with this person, and it was very close. And so we went to lunch in Detroit at the tallest building there that's owned by General Motors. And so we had lunch there, and she invited a friend and did not tell me. And so when we were there, the friend came in and she introduced herself, and I introduced myself, and we sat down to have lunch. And then she asked me, what do you do, Mr. Brown? And I know that she's rather professional. And I was so excited to tell her. I said, I'm a motivational speaker. How long have you been speaking? I said, well, I'm just getting started. Who are you going to speak to? I say, AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Motors, because we're in this hotel that's owned by them, and a variety of Fortune 500 companies. She said, have you ever worked for them? So I said, no, but I'm doing my research. She asked, then, what college did you attend? I said, oh, I don't have any college. In fact, I thought it would be a competitive advantage on my part. When I was in the 5th grade, I was labeled educable mentally retarded and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. And I failed again in the 8th grade. I don't have any college training, but once I learned something, I got it. I'm all in, and I master what I do. I'm a guy that my goal is not just to be a speaker. My goal is to be a dominant speaker. So she said, you have no corporate experience. I said, no. And you have no college education? No. Not even A BS? No. She said to my friend, let's go to the restroom. Now, you know, when ladies ask to go to the restroom, I figure it was no unusual deal because usually they will ask, let's go together. So when she came back, she said, bye, Mr. Motivator, this person. I don't want to call her name. And my friend, who I'd been dating for like 6 or 7 years, her eyes are red and I can tell she was crying. And I said, what's going on? You weren't crying when you left me at the table. She said, and let me use a name. Mary is a psychiatrist. I said, oh, great. I said, so what's going on? Why are you crying? She said that you are suffering from delusions of grandeur. I said, is that a good thing? She said, no. I said, what does it mean? I never heard the word before. She said, you're delusional. You're talking about becoming a motivational speaker for companies that you've never done training for companies that you have no experience with. You're talking about traveling around the world, motivating and inspiring people. You have no credentials. And she said, I'm a doctor. You and I are unevenly yoked. And so she said, and the words passed around Detroit quickly. And I can't continue with you. Oh, my goodness. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, I'm unevenly yoked. You have no college training. You're an embarrassment to me. The relationship is over. That was a punch in the gut. And fortunately, boy, they say coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. Fortunately, I was winding up a speaking engagement right outside of Detroit in Warren, Michigan, for a church called the Church of Today, Jack Boland. And everyone knew who had been coming to this series called Choosing Your Future. It's possible, it's necessary, it's you, it's hard, it's worth it, it's done. And traffic was backed up to people coming to hear me close it out. And Roger King of King World was in town. And Roger King saw me in an interview and he reached out to me the next day and asked me would I be interested in doing a talk show. I said, yeah. He said, but we would like for you to be the Black Jerry Springer. And I said, no, and hung up. He said, I'm going to send you a call back. And he said, I'm going to send you something in a couple of days and you're going to call me. Okay. I went on about my business. A few days later, I heard Stu Burkhardt, my secretary, oh no, this has got to be fake. No, this can't be real. I said, what's going on? So she came in and she showed me a check, $2.5 million. $2.5 million with my name on it. Whoa, I couldn't believe it. We got a copy of it. And I called my cousin Boo. I said, you know that guy who called me? Yes, man, he's the real deal. I called him and said, I'm sorry. I said, can we talk? I called my mentor, Mike Williams. He negotiated the deal, and the rest is history. They passed me. They paid me really $5 million, $1 million not to speak. Now, here's the point. What if I had listened to her? She's a psychiatrist. She said I was suffering from delusions of grandeur. What if I had listened to her? You know, when someone says, you can't do that, guess what? Someone else has to come along and say, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, 17 times to neutralize that one time. She didn't know me like that to tell me what I can't do. And then so maybe that's why the book of life says that faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. That we have to constantly work on ourselves, work on our minds. Because we live in a world where we're told more what we can't do rather than what we can do. And most people value the opinions of others more than their own opinions. And oh, behave. I sent for her. I called this person and said, would you like to have dinner with me? And she said, yes. I said, just friendly. You know, the relationship is over, but just friendly. Would you mind? And so I told her where to come. She came. And when I sent a limousine to pick her up. That's number one. And when I remember the movie Coming to America. When she got out, I had two guys with white tuxedos on and sprinkling rose petals in front of her as she came in the Renaissance. That's the building, the Renaissance. And they have a restaurant up top. And I had them sprinkle rose petals as she walked every step of the way. And when she came in, I was seated at the table. And I got up and I greeted her. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad that you can make it. And she said, oh, thank you. Oh, boy, you brought me here in a very, very good way. And then so we had dinner. And so she said, obviously, things have been going rather good for you. I said, yes. Well, what's been going on? I said, I've been invited to do a television project. And I just casually took a copy of the check and I moved it over toward her. As she looked and saw $2.5 million less ground, and she dropped down on her knees. You can't make this stuff up. She dropped down on her knees and said, will you marry me? I said, oh, please don't represent yourself like this. I'm suffering from delusions of grandeur. Here's the point. What if I had listened to the psychiatrist, her friend? What if I'd said, well, after all, she is a psychiatrist, and she probably did a spot examination of me, and during the conversation, she made an assessment of me. Maybe I should do something else. Maybe I'm setting myself up for failure. Maybe I'm fooling myself. Maybe I should go to college and get a bachelor's of arts degree. Maybe something is wrong with me. She's a psychiatrist. They're trained. They know what they're talking about. These are brilliant people. They work with people who have problems. I may have a problem, and I don't know, because I teach that you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. But fortunately, I didn't listen. Listen to me. When you set out to do something, there will be people to tell you you can't do it. People who should be the members of the encouragement club will be the number one members of the discouragement club. Well, Les, what if you start out and you fail? Wait a minute, hold a minute. Walt Disney, he failed and filed bankruptcy 7 times and had 2 nervous breakdowns. Okay, but what about more than that? Walter P. Chrysler failed 49 times in the automobile industry. Because you fail at a project does not mean that you are a failure. It just means that the process and the method that you use did work. I remember going home to Miami and my brother would ask me, Leslie, when are you going to be on Ebony magazine? Don't worry, Wesley. One day I will be. Or, well, at least the cover of Jet magazine. Wesley, I don't know, but one day I will be. This is my year. Wait a minute. Didn't you say that last year? Barbara, and didn't he say that last year? Yes. Didn't you say that last year? Yes, Wesley, but this year is different. This year is different. You said that too. Look at it. Mama, get that boy plate right quick. He's getting kind of thin. I'm fasting, Wesley. Oh, I'm sure you are. You so hungry, your mouth is asking your stomach whether or not your throat has been cut. I was a laughing stock of the family. Mama said, leave him alone, Wesley. Leave your brother alone. It's all right, Mama. Y'all laughing now. I'm going to make it one day. My sister, Linda. Leslie? Yes, Linda? I believe you. I believe you're going to make it, Leslie. Thank you, Linda. I don't have an appetite. I got to go. No, boy, sit down, Mama. I'm not hungry now. Did I tell you to sit down? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's tell him to leave me alone. And I stayed focused. This is the message. Family members, we should be encouraging you many times, will be the number one members of the discouragement club. Family members who could help you many times won't raise a finger to help you. Does that mean you should stop? No. No. Find a way to win. I left Miami on a Greyhound bus to go to a special training. Mama fixed me some marinated frog legs. Oh boy, you never had no frog legs. Come on, it tastes like chicken. Mama fixed me some frog legs. She hooked me up with a sweet potato pie. I'm on the Greyhound bus. They call me Frog Man. And I'm trading frog legs for pork chop sandwiches and collard greens and hot water cornbread. And by the time we got to Dallas, Texas, where I was going, to go through a training with a guy named Ed Foreman, executive development, everybody knew me. The bus driver, Frogman, we're in Dallas, Texas. You going to Plano, am I correct? I said, yes, sir. Well, people will have to pick you up here. And so I got up, everybody was looking. I was midway section of the bus. I walked down and everybody's patting me on the back. Man, you're going to make it, man. We see you being there, man. Yeah, you got it, Frog Man. Good luck to you and your dream. And everybody was watching me and I knew their eyes were glued on me and they came to like me. They developed a connection with me. And when the bus driver held up the side of the bus to give me my luggage, I knew they were watching me. And I just couldn't resist. I hopped into the tunnel like I was a frog. They were cracking up. I could hear them screaming, look at him, he's hopping. I was just hopping to get to the terminal. And while I was on the phone calling Ed and saying, I'm here, sir, what do I do next? The bus driver came in and said, Mr. Brown, we took up a collection for you. We believe that you're going to make it. Here's $652. Good luck to you, young man. Good luck to you. I said, thank you. I came back outside and I waved at everybody. I said, I'm going to make y'all proud. We know, Frogman. We know. And when I did a PBS special, I received calls, PBS station where I was doing a fundraising pitch. Is there a Frogman here? I said, yes, that's my name. I rode a bus from Miami to Dallas, Texas, and they named me Frogman. They don't really know my name, but they named me Frogman. Well, Mr. Brown, there's some people calling in and say they are so happy to donate to public television to support the Frogman. What if I had listened to the psychiatrist? What if I had listened? Find something that's you. Find something that resonates with you. There's something that you are ordained to do. There's something that you are called to do. There's something that you love so much that you do it for nothing, and you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. I gave hundreds of speeches free. And when they gave me a love offering in church, the show, they didn't love me very much. This is $35. We love you and Jesus love you too. What a mighty God we serve. Don't listen to the external voices. Sometimes I encourage you to listen only to the voice that's in your heart. The voice in your head has been cultivated, indoctrinated, and polluted with the voices of the world. Listen to the voice that's in your heart. Where your heart is, there your treasure is also. The mind believes, the heart knows. I just knew in my heart that I was supposed to speak. I knew it when I would see speakers, when I would hear them, the tons of motivational cassette tapes. Millennials don't know about cassette tapes. They might know about, no, they don't know about 8-tracks either. The reel to reel, they don't know about that either. All those cassette tapes I have a ton of them. And thank God. It's very important to have somebody believe in you until your belief kicks in. Mike Williams said, Brownie, do you know why you have all those cassette tapes and why you go to all these seminars and workshops with Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Dr. Norman, Vincent Peale, and all these guys, Tony Robbins? Yeah, because I like the message. No, not just that. That's in you. That's who you are. There's something that's in you. I want you to think about it. What is something that friends have complimented you on? That it was no big deal to you because it came natural. It was just you being you. We're living in a time where there's a book called The End of Work. We're living in a time where you have to think in terms of being your own boss. And you have some experiences, you have some knowledge that people will pay for. Find a way to monetize your passion and ignore the naysayers. They're not paying your bills. Ignore them. My mother used to say, opinions are like behinds. Everybody's got one. That's something Plato said. Plato said opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. Everybody's got one. What's most important is the opinion about yourself. Yes, and sometimes you have to remind yourself, I got it. I got the right stuff. Things might not look good right now, but this is not me. No, I'm just going through some stuff. No test, no testimony, as Dexter Yeager would say. No guts, no glory. I've got the guts to keep on coming back again and again and again and again. There's something that you've got. You got a gift. There's something in you. There's a presence in you that can overcome anything life throws at you. Don't underestimate yourself. You don't know enough about yourself to be a cynic. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And when you're pursuing your greatness, you don't know what your limits are. So you act like you don't have any. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it.
That was everything I needed to hear today. As well as everybody over here. I do have one comment, and then I want to get a little into the meat and bones of that. But Luis says he doesn't know if he can get down with you with the frog legs. But he loves y'all the same, right?
Yeah, the frog legs are good. Don't downplay the frog legs now. Yeah.
And then I wish I could have pulled the comments when you were telling the story about her proposing. There are some good comments there. So one of the comments that I was trying to go through here, we're getting a ton of comments today, but Matthew right here wants to know, where did you find that focus and mental resilience? You make it sound like a natural that anybody can tap into. So what's your top advice for that, for anyone being able to
anyone can tap into it? We're all born the same way, dumb, naked, and speechless. Everything else we learn. I learned to become relentless watching my mother, raising 7 children by herself, 3rd grade education, a domestic worker. And we never went to bed hungry. She always had food on the table, clothes on our back, a roof over our head. And just watching her, some things are taught, some things are caught. I said, when I put my mind to do something just like my mother, Mamie Brown, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stay the course. Most people, when things get difficult, they abandon, they run. No, that's the time to dig in. Life is challenging you. There's a lady that used to be on radio in Detroit, and Martha Jean the Queen, and she had a speech he gave, it was a classic. And the speech was, do you really want to win? That's a profound question. Do you really want to win? Because most people will say, of course. No, do you really? Because that dream, that comes with a cost. That dream, it requires discipline. That dream that you got, there's some sacrifice that's involved there. That dream, it can cost you your marriage. It can cost you some hardship. Do you really want to win? You have to ask yourself that question. That's why Viktor Frankl say adversity introduces a man to himself and a woman to themselves, because that's when you find out who you are. It's easy if the bills are paid. It's easy as nobody got a stethoscope around their neck and saying you got 4th stage cancer, as they told me here in Atlanta at the Cancer Centers of America. It's easy if you're doing well financially and health-wise. It's easy to be positive, upbeat, and motivated. And you don't have to be socially distanced from people and scared when somebody sneezes, rather than saying, God bless you, you saying, let me get the hell out of here. Let me get up out of here. Looking like you're Usain Bolt, all right? No, this thing called life, it's not easy. It's not easy. There's a price. It's a conveyor belt of things that you have to do in order to break through.
Do you want to talk a little bit about, if people do want some more motivation every day, your Prodigy program?
Yeah, the Prodigy program, this is for the masses. Now, I have 2 programs. One for the masses. The Prodigy program, and the reason I created this, the suicide rate has increased tremendously. That's number 1. 50 million people have lost their jobs, number 2. But the other thing is, That's the primary reason I wanted to create a community of like-minded people, collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. It is only $20 a month. And we send out a motivational message every week, and I come on once a week, just talking about things that's designed to expand our vision of ourselves beyond the coronavirus. This has not come to stay. This has come to pass. We will, as Willie Jolly would say, we will get through this. And the people that's a part of a community, people who are part of a community, they live longer than people who are not in a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. This is something that you might want to sponsor a kid in, or a relative, or somebody that's lonely and living by themselves. Only $20 a month. That's number one. So this is for the masses. I want to create something that money would not be an issue, and they'll get a lot of value out of it. Over $2,000 worth of motivational tapes and materials and various events that we will set up virtually. My other program is the Power Voice system. And this is for people. This is not for everybody. This is for people who have a story, who have something they want to share. People who've decided, you know what, I'm going through a transition. I want to do something else different with my life. And they want a combination of what I was looking for. I was looking for a combination of two things: something that allowed me to make a difference, that gave my life a sense of significance, and something where I can make some money. I've got 5 children that are girls and 5 children that are boys. 10. Lord, to be fruitful and multiply. I took him seriously. The rhythm method does not work. And 15 grandchildren. Let me tell you something. 15 grandchildren. Woo! There's some kind of wonderful. And 4 great-grandsons. So at 75, I can make a difference from home virtually. Don't have to get on an airplane. At 75, I was in Morocco the other day. I was in Egypt. I'll be in London later on today, virtually. At 75, when you can sit in front of a computer and motivate, inspire people, and share your wisdom, your knowledge, and hear me clearly. Attention is, I cannot say this enough, is the new currency. Mm-hmm. So when you can draw attention, hold attention, and direct the attention, you can control your own personal economy. And so the excitement of being able to be home, excuse me, Tyrone, he's a frog that's he's right here to my right. He's always interrupting my webinars. This is rude. This is rude, Tyrone. I speak squirrely. Just a moment. I just told him just to chill out till I get through. So, yes, I've been in the house too long. The walls are closing in on me. All right. And so when you can sit at home in your Mickey Mouse underwear and make people feel good, have them laughing, have them thinking, motivate them and encourage them, to me, it doesn't get any better than that. Now, I have a friend of mine, Dr. Anthony Sweeting. I'm not going to tell you his name. He said, Leslie, he's known me, we were kids. He said, I saw, and he's a strikingly handsome guy. Oh, I got to get a picture of him. He's off the hook. He said, I saw your new hairstyle. He said, drop it. He's very dramatic. Drop it, Leslie. It's not you. I said, I'm 75. I can grow my hair if I want to. I bet you there are bald head people during the winter months that wish they had something to keep their head warm. All right. I ain't got to worry about that. I'm fine. He doesn't like it. It's okay. But he is sharp with all of his gray and everything. He looks very spiritual, and that works for him. But I'm fine. I look like the 80s, kid and play, and I'm kid. I'm fine with that. I'm a happy camper.
There was a comment right when we got on earlier, and I can never get back to him at this point, but somebody just jumped on. They must have not seen you in a couple of weeks, and they said, what in the kid and play haircut? I like it.
Oh, thank you very kindly. But those of you that are listening, if you got a story in you that you are hungry to get out, I want you to put voice in the comment section. I work with a small number of people, and the response from people who've been a part of this, it's off the hook, because it's Les Brown unleashed. I take you behind the curtain and teach you how to tell your story, how to use humor, how to use statistics, how to use quotes, how to use and modulate your voice, how to tell your story, how to extract it and deliver it and transform an audience individually and collectively, how to use your story strategically to create an experience. It's powerful. We do that once a week, and people who are part of the program, they love it.
If you are actually on LinkedIn, go to lesbrownofficial.com. On Facebook, put voice. So, yes. But if you're on LinkedIn, go to this website right here if you want to work with Les directly. Yeah, I get to see a lot of the messages of people that work with you that come in, and they're always so just so excited. They love it.
Oh yeah, they were up last night. They could not go to sleep. When I got through with them, see, before I come on, I eat hot pepper on a fork. So when I come on, let me tell you, I'm smoking.
I like that.
I love it. You know, they don't let this 75 fool you. I still got the fire in my belly up in here.
Well, I love that. Today was everything I needed to hear, and based off comments, a lot of people needed to hear. So we're hitting up against time. So why don't you wrap us up before we come back tomorrow?
I think it's very important to remember the words of Plato. He said, opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. And there are people who will tell you what you can't do, and they're judging according to appearances. Sometimes you have to ignore yourself, because our thinking has been cultivated and indoctrinated by the world and people around us, by our environment, by our circumstances. That's why Dr. Martin Silliman from the University of Minnesota wrote a book called Learned Helplessness, Learned Optimism. We've learned to be helpless. We've learned to give up on ourselves and to give up on our dreams and walk away. But we are here on a mission possible to do a work. We were chosen to do a work. And it's very important to know that opinions is just a bridge between knowledge and ignorance. That's my story, and so it is. And I'm sticking to it.
All right, we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Are you going to say bye-bye for now? It's my favorite part.
Bye for now.